Okay, now let's start with the first topic we have on our outline. Now, before we can be able to talk about what Excel is, we must know what we mean by spreadsheet itself. These spreadsheets, they are just applications that makes you do some calculations and also that helps you with automatic calculations and the likes. So Excel is a spreadsheet, and Excel is not the only spreadsheet that exists. It's just that Excel, Microsoft Office Excel, is the most popular spreadsheet that we almost every one of us know. But we have other spreadsheets, like we have Google Sheets, we have Library Office Calc. Now, this Library Office Calc even offers more basic functionality than the Excel we know. But because Excel is the most popular, so that is what we use the most. So we have Zoho Sheets, we have Quip, we have Smart Sheets, we have Apple Numbers, and the likes. Please, if you are just coming in, kindly do well to mute yourself. Please, kindly do well to mute yourself. Okay, so let me continue. So aside from that, we ask ourselves, I personally, I do ask myself that what I define Excel to be is Excel is that mini programming software because if you are very good at Excel, you notice that it deals with programming, but it's just a mini programming, unlike all these advanced programming languages that we all know. So Excel is also a mini programming language. You understand? Software. Now, what do we use? What do data analysts? What do they use Excel spreadsheets for? Please, that person should please notice ourselves. What are the uses of Excel? We use Excel for statistical analysis. We use Excel for financial forecasting. We use Excel for charting. We use Excel for identifying trends. We use Excel for profit and loss accounting. In fact, Excel is very broad, and truth is the truth is just that we can't teach you all you need to know on Excel. We can't teach you all you need to know. But we are going to take you through a part that you will not be having any problem at all. You understand? Now, what are the advantages of Excel? Excel helps you for automatic calculations. It helps for accurate calculations. It helps to organize and easily access data. With Excel, you can be able to format your data, you filter your data, you sort your data. With Excel, you can analyze your data. With Excel, you can visualize your data. You understand? A lot of things you can do with that. Now, what are the things data analysts use Excel particularly for? Number one thing that they use Excel for is to collect data. Now, let me say, we are mostly used to seeing our data in Excel format most of the time. You understand? Most of us are used to seeing it like that. Why? Because you can use Excel for collecting your data. You can use Excel for data wrangling, or we call it cleaning of data. Use Excel to clean your data. If you have spaces, you have you have you have misspelled words in your data. You have misspelled words in your data and the likes. You understand? Use use Excel for that. And even aside from that, we use Excel to analyze data. We use Excel to visualize data. So that's just a brief introduction. Really necessary for me to necessary for me to take you through the introduction. Okay, now this is what you are seeing on the screen now is an Excel workbook. You understand? This is an Excel workbook, and as you can see that this is a blank workbook. Now, before we start, I need to tell you some things. We are here to introduce you to the components of Excel windows. Excel, please, who is that? That person. Okay, so we can continue. So I would love to introduce you guys to the Excel interface. Now, looking at this Excel interface, as you can see, this is Excel. You can see just box, 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 box. All these boxes that you're saying, what they are capable of doing is beyond your own imagination itself. Like seriously, what they are capable of doing is beyond your imagination. So I would love to tell you everything. There are some basic things you need to know. There are some basic things that you guys need to know about. That you guys need to know on this particular workbook. Now look at it. This is a workbook. Now, what do we mean by a workbook? A workbook, let me explain it like this. You know, in a note, we have a notebook and we have a sheet in a notebook. You understand? So the whole of the notebook itself, we call it a workbook. So the whole of this Excel, it is called a workbook. Why this, if you look at this place, let me show you. If you look at this place where we have sheet 1, this is a sheet. So this is a sheet in a workbook. So it's just like a page in one of our books. So we call it a sheet. So a sheet can be found in a workbook. So a workbook consists of more than one sheet. So let me tell you some parts of it, some basic components of this Excel window. Now, I'll be starting with this particular one. Look at this part, this top, where my mouse is. This place. We call it the quick access toolbar. Yeah, it's called the quick access toolbar. If you look at this place, this is the file menu. This is our file menu. Now, everything like this, like this, like this. That's our ribbon tabs. You understand? That's our ribbon tabs. So we also have, look at this place. All these things, we call it ribbon, or we call it ribbon, anyone. So you know what I said, this ribbon tab. So this is a ribbon, this is another one. We have fonts, we have alignment, we have styles and the likes, a whole lot of them like that. So also we have our title bar. Now if you look at this up part where they write book 1, that's up part is called the title bar, because that is where the title of what the name of my workbook will be. I can rename it to anything, so that is the title to grab. So aside from that, we also have, this is my help. If you need anything, you can just search for it. Probably you are doing something and you need to do 1 or 2 things, so that's very easy for that. Now, okay, also we have our name book. Now look at it. This is our name box. Look at our name box. This is our name box. Now, the reason why this thing is writing C1 is because that is where my active cell is. That's why it is writing C1. You understand? So that is the name. You know, in Excel, each boxes, we call them cells. They have their own unique reference. They have their own unique, or let me say unique identifier, just like a key. That you won't be able, if they ask you to, okay, what is C1? Even if you ask 100 people that, okay, they will be pointing at the same thing. Now look at this place here. This is my select all. Now if I should click on it, I'm coming, If I should click on it, can you see it will select the whole of the workbook? If I should just click on it, it will select the whole of the workbook. So aside from that, look at this G. Can you see G? Now this G is known as my active column. You understand? My active column. The G is known as my active column. Why is it active column? The reason why it is active column is because look at this black stuff, or let me say green. Look at it here. That is where that is the active cell. That is the active cell, which means this current cell I'll be working on. So the column where it belongs to is G, and my active row will be what? Will be 8. So which means this is my active column here, and this is my what? My active row. So that is about that. Now, if you look at this place, let me see. Look at this place. Look at this place. This place. This place. Everything like this. It's called the formula bar. You understand? So if you want to write formula in Excel, that is where your formula will be displayed. Write your formula, you write. So that is where they will be what? They will be displayed. Okay, now let's continue. Now look at this. Now I told you the other time that this is a worksheet. So if I can decide to add more worksheets, look at it. Sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. So everything like this, we call it the worksheet tab. We call it our what? Our worksheet tab. And this place is my status bar. This down one where we have your this thing is called my status bar. Now also, this is our page view, my page layout, or we call it page view. So if I want to change the layout, just click on it. Can you see? To just change the layout. So that's our page layout. Also, we have scroll bar. Look at this is my scroll bars. Can you see? Can you see? It's scrolling here and there. So that is my what? That is my scroll bar. A lot of things that we need to know, but that is the basic things on the components of Excel that I'll be introducing you guys to. As time goes on, we'll be mentioning some other ones. You understand? You get used to them. You understand? So now, look at it now. Look at this, my mouse. Look at this cell. This is my active cell. If I should ask you that, what is the reference to this active cell? You say it is E5. Why? Because this box is referencing to column E and to 5. So the name of the column comes before the name of the what? Of the row. Now, one thing that we also need to understand is that, okay, let me cancel this. Let me just take away all this. Now, one thing that also you need to know is, good. Now, one thing that we need to know as well is, there's something we call workbook extension. For everything, we have its own extension. Now, image now, we have .img for image, we have .png for image and the like, we have .3gpp for what's it called? For video, we have .mp4. So also Excel has its own extension. Now, what do we mean by extension? Extension is the last, let me say, those words, or let me say those words, let me just call them words, that are at the end of your file. For example, if I should name a file and I name it, you see a file named name.jpg. The extension is what? The extension is what? .jpg. Now, the extension for Excel is, for Excel workbook, it is what? .xlsx. .xlsx. You understand? .xlsx. So that is the extension. Now, what these cells, what do they contain? These cells they contain data. You input in data into these cells. Now, your data can be a text, it can be a number, it can be formulas, or it can even be calculation results. You understand? So that is it. Now, also, Please excuse me. Give me a minute.